invite you two here tonight to talk about your headshot project over the last year. And let's just start right with it. Courtney, why did you, I mean, I know, but for your readers, why did you want to do a project like this?
So I've always had this feeling that I need to record my presence here on Earth. And so I'm always good about people taking pictures of me or writing about my feelings and thoughts, because I think I want to make my mark here on Earth. And so when we were talking about shooting a new headshot last year, I think one of the problems that I had was that my headshots always seemed like they weren't current, because I was always changing my hair or changing my weight. You know, I'd get pregnant and I'd look different. Anyway, so I said, you know, I could shoot a headshot once a month, probably have a different look. And so then we talked about maybe doing that.
Yeah, we did. That's exactly what happened. Is this gonna work with you, buddy?
So not only did we shoot 12 headshots, but we also had babies. This has been a fantastic year. I mean, we didn't, but Jane actually had the baby.
Jane had a baby.
Congrats, Jane.
Thank you.
So Jed, how about you? What did you think about the project? Why did you agree to do it? What was your idea behind it?
I thought it was a fun idea because it was an excuse to take a fun stylized portrait every month, which you don't always get to do. You're as a photographer, you're typically just shooting something for somebody else, and you don't often get to choose what's going on. But there was this prospect of doing whatever we wanted, pulling out all the stops if we had the time, or really kind of owning the challenge of not having any time, and just using a prop or something to kind of highlight the month. And so it was a really great creative exercise for me, and I grew a lot. I mean, I developed a lot of skills this year just trying out new lighting techniques, and
Yeah, that was fun too.
And they all look really great. I'm really proud of all of them.
So tell me about the first picture. Tell me about January.
Okay, so I accepted this job as a desert news columnist, and I wanted a headshot, something that made me look like a writer.
Which it was hard to do. We're like, what do writers look like? Well, they wear glasses and ties, and so and we get up your hair because that's what writers do.
I had to look semi-intellectual.
And writers hang out around books.
And books,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
With all the time that I have to read.
Yeah, so that was our concept, and we just nailed it.
Yeah, we sure did. It's my dad's favorite. Yeah. So February we wanted to go with romantic, and I actually got my hair done and my makeup done professionally for this one to make it look romantic.
And you could tell. But you were very blonde that month.
Yes.
Which isn't quite normal to you, but I thought you looked great.
Do you know, after that, somebody emailed my stylist and said, C.Jane's too blonde.
Oh, well.
Isn't that funny?
Sorry.
How about March?
Okay, March is awesome because at that point, March, I was pregnant and really, really sick. And so on March, I had been throwing up all day. And Jed came over and he was like, we don't have a lot of time for this, so why don't we just shoot right before the sunset? So he made me climb this ladder up to the top of my roof and sit there, and it was cold.
Yeah, because it was the only place where there was still some sun. It was in the shadow, and I wanted the sun behind you in the picture, and the only place to get that was on the roof. So we climbed up on the roof, and I thought it would be fun to bounce the sun back in your face, but then you were wearing those big old glasses, so there was the reflection of the gold reflector anyway, which again I thought it was like this double helping of the sun in this really cold picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything is black and white almost, and gray, and then there's me, and it has color. I love that one.
That was a fun one.
As sick as I was in March, I was even more sick in April. And so Jed was like, I'm coming over to shoot the This Is What I Know video that you can see on my sidebar. And I was like, I'm too sick to do this twice. So we shot that video, and then right after we just shot the headshots for April. And I look pretty I mean, when I look at that, I think, oh, I look tired
Well, and it really was right after that and I think there's still some of that experience in your expression.
yeah.
That we'd really aimed for a stripped down production. We didn't want to put any music or do up, your hair or your makeup or anything, and try to just get the bare bones of what you think and believe. And I think that the picture reflects that, which is a lot of fun to me. It's
Yeah.
not as glamorous or as intense as some of the other things. Some of the other months, but I thought it was a really nice picture.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. I think it's my favorite. May.
Yeah, so May, it's interesting. You can see by May I was feeling better, and I think it's reflected in May's shot.
Yeah.
I look better. I look like I'm feeling good again.
Yeah, May was. I was home for about 5 days between a trip to China and then Russia, and in those 5 days, I came over here jet lagged out of my mind, and your backyard was full of dandelions.
Yeah.
Because the
Because
yard
we
isn't
don't believe
important.
in we don't even
Oh, it's
believe in fertilizer.
You don't
We
wanna
like to
kill.
take the natural processes.
Well, anyway, you had a garden of dandelions you were cultivating.
Yes.
Yes, and they were beautiful.
Yes, for tea.
And we really
Dandelion
took
tea.
like 8 or 9 shots there in the grass, and they're really lovely. Those are some of my
Yeah,
favorites.
they're fun. In June, we actually went up to this lane that's right above my house, right by my sister Stephanie's house, called Old Willow Lane, and we just like hiked through the woods pretty much and found this spot of grass.
That's my son that you can hear crying.
Maybe it's just
Anyway,
okay. So July. Oh, it was an ode to the. We had the rainiest July this
Yeah.
past year. I mean, it just thunderstorm, and so Jed wanted to do something that kind of paid tribute to that.
yeah, and we were put off during the day by the thunderstorms. And then I thought it'd be fun to shoot in a thunderstorm, but that was too much trouble. So we had Chupacabra put together a rain machine, and we did up that fun little rig.
Yeah.
And those were great. I thought they were really romantic and kind of, those were fun shots.
All right, tell me about August.
Okay, August is interesting because it's my mermaid shot. And, I've always wanted to be a mermaid. We were in California for a friend's vacation, and the last morning I woke up and my hair was like super crazy with humidity, and I was like, let's shoot it as a mermaid. I want to be a mermaid. So we went on the beach, and Sarah Wiley went and collected seaweed that looked like a costume, and pretty much
Among other
made me a
things, Sarah
mermaid.
Wiley is an excellent stylist.
She is an incredible person.
Yes.
She probably won't even watch this because she's too busy to read my blog.
Probably.
But anyway. Okay, so September was our fastest one, I think. I had borrowed a hat from my sister Stephanie, Nai, and we jumped the fence over to my neighbor Jana's backyard and got into her sunflowers that were dying.
Uh-huh.
And I put on that hat, and you were like, smile, and you had set up a couple lights.
Uh-huh.
And I smiled, and we took a couple shots, and then you dissembled, and we're gone.
Yeah.
It was like a dream.
It was like it didn't happen. But then there were all these photos like it
just
did.
showed up. So October we woke up really early and shot at the kind of the base of the mountain above my house.
Yeah, up above the Apple Chapel.
Yeah. And I think those turned out amazing.
Those were really great, and what's fun is like just out of the frame in those pictures is your enormous baby that didn't turn out to be that enormous.
No, you're right.
But you were very, very pregnant, and I thought just radiant like that.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
But you were holding together that scandalous fur coat,
Yes.
which I don't know if it was real or not. We'll get into that another time. Sorry, PETA. But but anyway, I thought that was a really fun contrast that you don't get to see in the selects.
Yeah, and I always knew that Jed liked what he was doing because he'd look at it and he'd be like, "Oh, CODIS. Oh, CODIS." So that's how we knew it was good.
Yeah.
November was interesting because I had just had Aaron like a couple days before the shoot.
Yes.
And we decided we wanted to do a Madonna and Child theme.
Yes.
And it caused some controversy on the internet.
And let's clear the air. No disrespect to Catholics or to Madonna art in general, but I happen to really love that kind of art, and I feel like as an artist that it's a template that we should be able to use. I don't think that by posing you that way, or when I've posed my wife that way before, that I'm saying anything about you or the baby in your arms being, you know, the savior of the world or anything. I think it's something that we can use, and I thought we used it really well and quite tastefully. I wanted it to look like a painting, and I felt like it did.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to infer anything about, you know, divinity.
Yes.
And I'm sorry if it was offensive, but I'm not apologetic about the photo because I think it's really great.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think our motives were anything but to celebrate motherhood.
And the holiness of what had occurred that month.
Yes.
I
think so too. Yeah.
Okay, so December is our family shot, which we use for our Christmas cards. It's so amazing. It's so wonderful. I love love this picture. Jed showed up at our house, rearranged our whole living room, and sat us in front of the Christmas tree, and somehow got all of us to look pretty decent at the same time.
So full circle. Did you shoot another one for January?
We did, and we will disclose that tomorrow.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
So a new and last photo tomorrow. Favorites from the series.
Favorites. Jed, you go first.
No, you go first.
Okay, March. I think March is my favorite because I felt so horrible that day, and you still somehow took a picture of me that was decent enough that I could put up on my blog. And when I look at it, I think that's hope and joy to me, and that also looks like me with my blonde short hair. And so, yeah, I think March is my favorite. Also, it was my birthday month.
How about you, Jed?
I'm a fan of May. I really think May. I tend to be drawn to the ones that were either difficult to pull off or I feel like it was kind of a miracle that we got something that looks that good. So I really loved May for that reason. I loved October because it looks it really looks like something big happened, but I had one light and the sun, and that's all we used, and it really looks like a movie set or something. We just kind of used the colors in nature and the haze in the air and everything. And
why is it always rain on me? You know.
Wait. Do you think people are still watching this vlog?
I just think like his job is to make me look good. That's all. That's all he has to do with me.
And what a lucrative job it was.
And on that note.
Okay, well, thank you. It's been fun. What should we do this year? Let's do 12 naked pictures.
Of me.
Of you, yeah.
You take them.
And the ladies go wild. Goodbye.